Hello everybody, welcome to Reality Escape. My name is Ghostboy259 and this is a brand new show every Wednesday. It's called Quick Game, Quick Thoughts. I get asked to play, or not asked to play necessarily, but people ask my thoughts on games all the time, mainly based off the first two videos, the tower defense video and the clicker idle game video. But then I had a lot of different flash games and stuff like that, and people just want to know what my thoughts are on them. So this is a new show where I will basically play a game that you guys recommend to me for about an hour, hour and a half, and then just give my unscripted thoughts on it. And so we're going to do this every single Wednesday. If you have games you want to recommend, put them down in the comments. The more I see it, the more likely I am to do it. I already have a little list of like 5 or 10 games, but then after that, I'm going to be asking you guys what you guys want to see. Every single Wednesday, just a little unscripted video. And today we're talking about Kingdom Rush, because one of the biggest games, it's in there, it's in the tower defense video, but I clearly skipped over it a little bit. I didn't like break it down into detail. Was Kingdom Rush, and so as you can see, as I said, I just said in the video, I did play it, and I did like it, but I didn't go in depth with it because I felt like it was a good tower defense game, but didn't necessarily do anything that was like particularly different or special than the other ones, at least enough to warrant me like spending 5 or 10 minutes breaking it down. But you guys wanted to know what my thoughts were a little more specifically on it, so I replayed it. I didn't continue from my other save. I replayed it for about an hour and a half, I think just the first 5 levels or so, and I enjoyed it. It's pretty good. It's very easy to learn. They definitely like get you into it. Like the fact that I played it for like an hour and a half and I hadn't unlocked every major tower upgrade was kind of nice in a way, because it made me feel like there was always something more to go to. They weren't overwhelming me with information right away, which a lot of these games tend to do when they give you access to stuff like this. It really makes you kind of feel overwhelmed, but this game gives everything to you nice and slowly, and it really lets you learn what you have and then make your strategies from there, and then gives you a little bit more every time. So it's like, now that you're familiar with this, let's do this. The tower variety is pretty good. You've got the arrows, you've got the barracks, you've got the magic tower, and you've got like the bombs. The bombs I found myself using the least for whatever reason. I don't know if it's just because it had slow attack. I found myself using the arrows a lot. And we'll get into the enemies in a bit, but there are like certain enemies that can't be hit by certain things. The barracks are super important. You have to have the barracks because they don't actually kill a lot of things until, I guess in the later levels, it kind of alludes that you can upgrade them and have them kill a lot of things. But in my instance, the barracks were mainly just there to slow things down because everything was coming at you from every which direction. The barracks are, and the reinforcement power, we'll get into the powers in a little bit as well, but the barracks tower was super important. You really need that there in order to just slow everything down and keep yourself kind of on your feet. And then your magic tower and your arrows really do the bulk of the damage. And then, like I said, you have the powers. Your powers are reinforcements, which respawns every 10 seconds or reloads every 10 seconds. You need that. You need that, and you need to use it every single second that it's available, because things are coming at you from every which direction. And once again, it's not there to do damage. It's not there to inflict a ton of pain, but it's there to just slow things down, because the enemies, they knew the enemies would move fast. And so it's very interesting, because when I play tower defense games, I don't necessarily like to use the stun towers or like the slow towers. The only exception would be like the glue tower from Bloons tower defense, because it does damage as well. And like I said, these guys do damage, but just not a lot. So yeah, you definitely need to use the reinforcements. And then the other power is your kind of meteor drop thing, and you can actually upgrade them both in the upgrade menu as well. The meteor drop is nice. 80 seconds is the reload time on that, and you can get a little bit faster if you click the thing to send the next wave early, which is nice. 80 seconds is a very long time in order to have it do that. And the one thing I wish is that it didn't have the lag on it. The lag that when you click it and then it drops, instead of just like clicking and it being instant, because I often find myself missing with it, which kind of sucks, but you know what, that's just how a lot of these flash games go. But yeah, and it's like, it's 2 powers. It's not complicated. You don't need like your entire number keys or anything like that. It's very simple. They give those to you right from the start and then allow you to upgrade, but it's not like, it's not upgrading in the sense that it's gonna, you know, give you a meteor and then, I don't know where I'm going with this train of thought, but it's not like, it's just making what you have more powerful. So you get very familiar with those two and you use them pretty much instantly whenever they're available, or you can save them and be a little more strategic with them. The maps are pretty good. I get super nervous when I play tower defense games where there are more than one route to get to for the enemies to get to like your base or your health or whatever. And this game does not hide that from you. Within like the 2nd or 3rd level, they give you multiple routes and they make you cover it. And this is not a game where you can freely place towers. The towers have designated spots. There's definitely like a right way and wrong way to do things with what you're placing. You really have to, like, they want you to think about it and be strategic, but really you're probably going to do the same thing as a bunch of other people. It's like, oh yeah, this is the optimal place to put barracks. This is the optimal place to put arrows, such and such. But I did enjoy the maps. Like I said, I only played the first 5 or 6 levels, but looking at kind of the last level I did, which was like the first snow level, they've got like these like mine cart tracks, and people or monsters are going in and then appearing out of ones like way at the end, so it really forces you to pay attention. In Kingdom Rush, you definitely never get that full sense of security. You can't get like so far ahead where you're like, yeah, I'm untouchable. You always have to be a little bit aware of what's going on. I guess back to the towers, that, you know, this thing about the show being unscripted is I'm gonna have to go jump around because I'm gonna forget sometimes. The towers each have different upgrades, like upgrade trees once you get it to a certain level, which is nice because it just allows it for a little more customizing and a little more preference to play style. One thing I noticed about Kingdom Rush is that it doesn't feel like a game where you can just like pick your favorite towers and stick with those. It definitely feels like a game that you have to like use these towers in these situations, and maybe that's why I had difficulty at some points, because I wasn't really using the bomb tower maybe when I was supposed to, which is normally my biggest downfall when it comes to games, is that I am like, I'm not going to use the weapon I should be using, I'm going to use my favorite weapon because I like to use it. But Kingdom Rush is definitely a game where it's like, these are 4 towers, you have to use them all, you can't just play favorites. And yeah, it's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's aware of that. But it's definitely one of those things where with its tower placement and with its towers and stuff, you could probably find a guide on every single level. Like, you could know exactly what to place where and how much to spend on what and which upgrade to get here for this tower. Everything is very... There's not a whole lot of freedom in it. There's not a whole lot of... You know, one of the things I said in the tower defense video is that I liked the games because they kind of let you do things the way you want to do them. There's very little of that in Kingdom Rush, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because it's its own game, right? It does its own thing. But it very much wants you to like use certain towers in certain situations and place certain things here and whatnot. So, like I said, not necessarily a bad thing. It is very, like, you know, if you beat it once, you could use that same exact formula over and over again, and then if you tried to use a different formula, maybe it wouldn't work, just because, you know, it has like preferred setups and whatnot. There is an upgrade menu where you can upgrade your things. There's only like 6 options, which is the 2 power-ups, the 4 towers. Perfect, that's all you need. You've got the stars as well, and when you get the stars, you can unlock heroes at like 15 stars, which is... See, I only played one game, which is the snow level with the hero. They're very active. You have to like kind of watch out for them, make sure that they're okay. If they die, they do come back. I think they have little powers and stuff, but I never got to the point where I got to use it. And yeah, I think maybe if they die a certain amount of times, they're gone, or it just takes longer to respawn. I'm not exactly sure what the mechanic is there, but it is a cool little touch to it, especially when you get to the point where you have to decide whether or not you are you're getting a hero / upgrading your hero, or if you're going to keep your upgrades on your towers, because you need 15 stars. So when you're done the first 5 levels, you can choose to get rid of all the upgrades that got you to that point and get a hero, or kind of keep grinding forward. So, but I'm sure when you get to the later game, that's like a non-issue. I don't know how many levels there are or anything like that, or how long it takes to beat this game. But I only tried the one hero, the archer. There's like 9 in total, but some of them are like premium, which is fair because these games like to make money, and I think the big advertisement on the website is more heroes on mobile and stuff, so they probably encourage you to play on mobile because there's like more ads and whatnot. The other thing I kind of like too is that there's multiple reasons to go back and play. There are different like mode types that are harder, but you can also just choose a difficulty on the map from easy, normal, and hard. And if you choose to play on easy, it gives you 3 stars if you complete it, just like it would on medium. So it's really more of a personal thing. So if you are more of a casual tower defense / Kingdom Rush player and you're just more interested in kind of playing through and you don't want to deal with the stress of always wondering when you're going to die, then you can just play on easy and get all the 3 stars, or you can do it on normal and get all 3 stars, do it on hard and get all 3 stars, and then go back and do the challenge maps and everything like that. So I like how that's set up. I know some people will probably disagree, but that's life. And then you have the Heroic Challenge, which is 6 Elite Waves, and then the Iron Challenge. I never did any of those because I don't really play not specifically Kingdom Rush games. I don't play tower defense games to do like those super hard challenges. I've always just liked the most like basic stuff like that, so that's generally what I tend to stick to, is just like the base game. But there's definitely a lot of replayability in here. You could go through the whole thing normal, then use all those upgrades you got, play through the whole thing normal, and easy. Let me restart. Unscripted videos. Go through the whole thing on easy, then go through the whole thing on normal, the whole thing on hard, and then hit the challenges, get all these stars, get all these upgrades. What else to talk about? I like the variety of enemies. I think it's nice in that they kind of give you little reads on them. You can like click on them as they're coming out, and you can see how much health they have or how much attack they have and like what their speed is and stuff. It gives you a little bit of information, and it's definitely one of those games where it's better that it has a variety of enemies. And when I was saying earlier how the game wants you to use every tower, this is like the best example of that, because some enemies are just completely immune to certain towers. You can't play the game having no arrow towers because you need them to kill the bats or the gargoyles, sorry. So the game, it makes you kind of go around and use everything, and the enemies are pretty good at that. The only thing is that the enemies, you can't really tell generally what they are on the fly because they are kind of small, and so it's not like you can recognize and be like, oh yes, like you recognize the dude that heals stuff because he sucks, and then that's pretty much it. And then you recognize the gargoyles because you're like, oh crap, I didn't set up my arrow towers yet. But beyond that, you don't recognize a whole lot. Overall, I'm not sure there's much more to say beyond that. I know that I think there are different versions. I don't know what version I played. I'm literally, the web link that I used will be in the description. It's like kingdomrush.com/play. So I don't know what version I'm playing. I believe there are multiple versions. I think there must be because so many people were talking about it. And then the ads on the side say Kingdom Rush Frontiers, but that might just be the mobile version, or might be a whole nother version. But yeah, I like the game. I think it's good. I just didn't think it was like worth breaking down into like severe detail. But I think it's this would be like a really good starter, not like a starter one. This is like a good like intermediate one. Like if you played like the most basic tower defense games and you're looking for like that first step up into something a little more complicated, I think Kingdom Rush is really good for that. It looks good. I think the maps feel good. I think it teaches you in a very good way, which is normally like my big issue with a lot of these tower defense games, is that they just rush into it and they don't really teach you what it is you're doing. So I'm glad that this game takes its time and doesn't just shove all the mechanics in your face. And I guarantee you that's probably one of the reasons why it's so popular, because if people play a game and all the mechanics are right there, they get confused, they don't want to play anymore, and then they walk away. So this one teaches you the perfect amount. Would I keep playing this after today? I probably would if I had free time, but I dedicate most of my life to making YouTube videos, so I don't really have the time, but maybe I'll live stream myself playing it or something one day. If you guys would be interested, you can comment down below and let me know if you want to join me in a live stream where I hang out and beat Kingdom Rush or something like that. I'd be down. But yeah, it's really solid, and it really feels like like I said, I'm sure there are different versions of it. This is like a great foundation to like build upon. I know at the bottom it says, at the bottom of the screen, you guys can't see it, it says copyright 2011. So this game's 8 years old and it's still really good. And if they're still making Kingdom Rush games, and like if this is like the first one, like I said, I'm not really sure what version I'm playing, then there's like so much to build on here and so much to expand upon, which I'm not surprised it's like a well-known franchise at this point. So yeah, because I'm looking at here and there's Kingdom Rush Frontiers, Kingdom Rush Origins. I don't know if they're making any more or not, but yeah, I liked it. I thought it was fun. I can see why you guys liked it. A lot of you guys asked me to talk about it, so hopefully you have been satisfied with this video. And if you have other games that you want me to talk about, flash games, browser games, mobile games, anything like that at all, leave a comment, let me know. I will play it for an hour and I will give you my quick thoughts on the quick game. Just don't recommend like a AAA release. Like, don't be like, oh, can you play Outer Worlds and give me your quick thoughts on it? Like, I'm not going to do that. I am going to save that for larger videos, not specifically Outer Worlds, because don't have time to play that either, but you know what I mean. And I hope you guys enjoy this series. Let me know what you think about this series. This is going to be every Wednesday. I'm just going to kind of get out here and try to just remind you that I exist. This is not going to slow down the big videos too much. And if you want to make sure that your game gets recommended to me and like be 100% sure that I see your recommendation, the best way to do it is to follow me on Twitter at ghostboy259 or at realityescapeyt. I check those every day. I check the comments, but sometimes I don't get notified for them, so that's just the best way to do that. Let me know what you guys think about the series. What do you guys think about Kingdom Rush? What game do you guys want me to talk about? What do you think about, I don't know, the color of the sky? What do you think about the color of the sky? And I hope you guys have a great week. There should be a podcast coming out in 2 days. Yeah, I'll see you next week.